what's happening, everybody? Pragmatic Addict here. So, this shouldn't take too long, depending on how much I actually want to rant. I know that is not the best intro that people are going to want to hear, but let me just be real with you guys. I have not dropped the most positive reviews so far this year, and I really thought that this Adam Driver dinosaur film from the writers of A Quiet Place, from the directors of Haunt, produced by Sam Raimi, was maybe going to be the first one in a little bit now. Then the press started coming out. Now, I'm one that tries my best not to hear reviews before I see the movie. I'll usually watch other people's reviews after I see the movie, but for a movie like this, I really did not see how it could have been bad, which is what I'm going to be talking about a lot in this review, is about what I'm going to say right here. With all the stuff I just labeled this movie, produced by Sam Raimi, with Adam Driver, writers of A Quiet Place, it is also only 90 minutes. This seems like a movie that, it's like, how do you fuck it up? It is a 90-minute movie about a pilot crash landing either on Earth 65 million years ago, or a planet that resembles Earth, and it's just like these alien dinosaur things on there. How do you fuck that up? There's already enough mystery there, there's already enough creature feature fun there, plus it has all these different producers, writers, directors, all coming to make this dinosaur creature feature with Adam Driver. It just seemed like something where it's like, dude, you have this in the bag. You can't fuck it up. And somehow they did. So I could not wait to see this film. I've talked in the past how I am a big fan of creature feature films, but especially when it comes to dinosaurs, there really isn't many creature feature like dinosaur films outside of the realm of like the Jurassic Park series. And again, with, everyone that was attached to this movie, I really couldn't wait to see it. And now, here was like, I guess you could say, maybe is like the first sign, is that up until the actual release date, not even then, up until actually going to the theater and seeing this film, I did not know when this thing was going to come out. Some sources were saying March 10th, some were saying March 17th. It got like a billion different delays, but with all that being said, let's just get straight into this review. So, first off, I didn't know too much about what this film had, like what it was really about, how everything was going to get going. I knew from, the trailers and everything that Adam Driver plays Pilot Mills. He's driving this ship in space, drives into an asteroid storm, something happens, and again, I don't know if he landed 65 million years ago, back in prehistoric times, and he's like, oh fuck, dinosaurs. This is not my home. Or if he landed on an uncharted planet where there is prehistoric creatures, but maybe they're like part alien hybrid. And what I really liked about this movie is that, touching up on that specific thing, when it comes to sci-fi films, I generally feel pretty dumbed down from them. I don't know anything about science. I know I look like J.J. Abrams right now, but trust me, I don't know shit when it comes to sci-fi movies. Even like Prometheus and Alien, obviously those are creature features. Yes, that also, mixed with the uncharted planets, deep space territory. But they are more, again, what those movies did well that this one could have, is there is equally, if not more, actual creature lore. This thing is menacing. We don't know exactly what it is. We don't know what it wants. We don't even know what this place is. So there's enough mystery and enough creature feature and horror and sci-fi whatever all equal, and it works. And this one kind of feels like that. It really, throughout this whole movie, it was really upsetting because you can definitely see this is just one of those movies where, again, you don't know how it could be bad. It has everything in the bag to be a great creature feature, but somehow, and I really mean this, somehow, I really don't fucking know. I was watching the movie and I'm like, there's really good suspense here. I think Adam Driver's fine. This planet, this is mysterious, this is unsettling, I don't want to fucking be here. I'm happy I'm seeing this in the theater. And then everything else just didn't need to be here. It did not need to be written. It did not need to be in this movie. And it really is just baffling how this film fucked itself up when it had so much potential. And not only that, but again, just had everything going for it to be a straight shot for, a successful creature film. So again, the premise is that Adam Driver plays a pilot named Pilot Mills, and he's in space, and something happens where an asteroid storm, he basically gets stuck in it, and next thing he knows, he crashes on this planet. And what I was saying earlier that I'm gonna continue to touch on is that what I was feeling around this time is like, and as the movie went on, but it worked because it made for a good mystery, is I was like, is this actually Earth 65 million years ago? Or is this just an uncharted, unknown planet that resembles Earth in the prehistoric times? What I liked is that the movie kind of like addresses that. Adam Driver lands on this planet and he's the only survivor, and he's pulling the Buzz Lightyear. He's like, there seems to be no life anywhere. We're on an uncharted planet kind of bullshit. And I was like, okay, so he obviously doesn't know where he is. And there's all these prehistoric creatures that have all these like poisons and venom, and even the dinosaurs look like they could be a cross between alien hybrids. So it had everything going for it to be a good both creature and sci-fi, but also mystery thriller. But where this film messes up is that this is one of those movies where, again, it has everything going for it to be good, literally to the point where it's like, you cannot fuck this up. It is actually fucking impossible to. But this is one of those movies where all the good stuff, it's just the elements of it, and everything else, not only surrounding but is the actual movie, is where it fucks up. Yes, this planet looks beautiful. It's mysterious, it's eerie. These dinosaur creatures, it's got good suspense. They're menacing. We don't know exactly what they are. And even Adam Driver, both him and his character, I think they're both fine in the movie. But one thing that screwed up this movie is that even the sci-fi that you could kind of give a pass, where it's like, yeah, he's this spaceship guy, and he goes through this asteroid storm and it sends him back on this uncharted planet, or this 65 years ago version of Earth. Like, there's that sci-fi where you're like, okay, yeah, that's a sci-fi movie for you. But it feels at least appropriate enough for this kind of film. Like, obviously with a creature feature, it's going to be a little bit silly and, a little bit absurd at times. But if whatever it is in the movie is just in good fun, it could work. The sci-fi in this movie, aside from, again, those elements that kind of help like set the movie up, it's not good. It has a lot of things in this movie that should make it good and that are very interesting. He's got all these gadgets. He's this guy that has all these different tools that can help him get out of like caves and blow stuff up and, do these things that could, trick the creatures into thinking they're somewhere else. He's got all these cool gadgets that could make for, that could like really work well into this movie, how he could use them. But the problem with this movie is it's a mix, because I'd say like the problem with this movie is that it's only 90 minutes and there's not enough stuff to really flesh out good character arc. This is a movie that gets right into it, but to the point where it's like it gets into it and it touches on something for 2 minutes and then thinks that that's enough for you to have, to work with for the rest of the film. It's like, we're going to give him a 2-minute backstory. We're going to give him a 2-minute chemistry with this new character, and then they're going to be fine for the rest of the story. They're going to be a bond. We're going to give you a 2-minute kind of like introduction to all these tools. There, that should be enough. And I think what it comes down to is that if this film was actually just being what it should have been, a sci-fi creature feature mystery film, it could have done that in 90 minutes easily, especially with how many elements are in this film that really do work. All the sci-fi nonsense and even all the different backstories between him and this other character named Koa that he finds on this planet, it's like, if you really wanted to make that work, it definitely needed to be, more than like 2-minute setup between all these different plot points in the movie. Again, not that you needed to make this movie 120 minutes, but if you were gonna include all this stuff, which you didn't need to, especially with all the stuff that you clearly had going for you, like, you obviously knew better. It just seems like this movie didn't really have a script at times. It had, like, plot points, but during all those plot points, which those plot points was, like, maybe 4 or 5, it seems like things were just kind of, like, figured out on the spot. Again, there's plenty of elements in here that could make this movie really good, and not only, like, in just sci-fi, horror, even like the way that the mystery in the world is set up. I mean, obviously, like, there are good elements in all of those different, pieces, but there's just a lot of variety in this movie too that actually really could have worked. Again, with the horror, with the suspense, with the mystery, with the sci-fi stuff, they just didn't use those elements to their fullest abilities, and they didn't capitalize on any of them. Again, there was a lot of good stuff in this movie, but it seemed like they were, I wouldn't say necessarily, like, pushed to the side. They are consistent enough, but again, it's with that thing where it's like there's a lot of it, and it is pretty good, but those good scenes only feel like they're lasting just a few seconds before we just get, like, some hammy character development, some out-of-place comedy, some story arcs that it just feels like, again, this movie got lost in what should have been a very easy film to, again, just like a straightforward and very straight shot creature feature film. Like, I don't know how this film felt as messy as it did. Like, it feels like these good elements were dumped into this film, and then the rest of the film, like, the makers of the movie were like, okay, well, those are pretty good. You gotta admit, those are pretty good. And the movie is only 90 minutes. That should tie the audience over. I mean, we got some cool action sequences. We got some good suspense. I mean, look at this world. It looks creepy, and it's only 90 minutes. Before they notice that the movie even sucks, it'll be over. It's just sad seeing all of the wasted potential in this movie. Again, there are good brushes of suspense and thrills, and many times that even exceeded that very well. And even the variety of this film, it's there, but it hurts thinking about how much more this movie could have been had it been helmed better. So that is my take on 65. Again, this is a very mixed film for me, obviously. There's a lot of stuff that I really liked about it, and a lot of stuff that I think was perfect and as it should have been. Even though there's a good amount of that, and in only a 90-minute movie, that still is not the biggest takeaway of the movie. And somehow, again, this movie just feels like it got lost in what should have been a straight shot, easy creature feature film. It had everything going for it, and I just don't know how it ended up like this. But yes, guys, that is going to do it for my review of 65. My next review will be Inside on Thursday. My next video will be the trailer reaction of Little Mermaid. Yes, it's about damn time. We are getting this during the Oscars tomorrow night. So yes, guys, I will see you guys for those videos. Let me know what you thought about 65 as well as this review. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll see you very soon. Take care.